all you Mega Dealers. This video is going to be a little different, and I have to give a warning beforehand that the views expressed in this video are mine. They're not done by research. They're just purely by mine, by me, and so don't go saying, well, blah 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 blah. Well, these are all my opinions, so they're mine. So please don't yell at the messenger. Yell at me if you have to. Anyway, this video is about what happens when you put your loved ones in a rehabilitation center or hospice after they're released or pass away. What happens to their belongings in those centers that you send them to? As many of you may know, that my mother passed away October 29th in a hospice. And recently I had to go back to the place where she passed away and get her belongings. Well, I got a little surprised when I got her belongings. The belongings she did have, which were 2 rings, and a backpack that had her clothing in it, were not there. They were completely gone. The employees at this place had either sold them upon themselves, thrown them away, or whatever. But what they did, then when I went to pick them up, they told me, "Oh, we have your mom's dentures." Yes, my mother had dentures, but no, she didn't bring them into her home, so I thought this was a little odd. And I come home and open up I open up what was in the bag, and what I found was some cards. Oops, I won't pour the edges. That were from someone that was in the hospice. Apparently, the previous person, that room that was before my mom was placed in there, they had given me their belongings, which were dentures. Which, when I figured out there were dentures in there, I actually took them back to the hospice place, so maybe they could find the owner. And I had these cards, which today there are a whole bunch of cards from the lady's loved one. I don't know if she passed away, but judging from how that last place treated people, I'm pretty sure they may have killed her. Uh, just like my mom, they left. I'll tell you a little story, and hopefully you don't, I don't get demonetized for this. That place that was horrific. The last place they were in, my mother. They starved my mom for roughly over a week. Wouldn't feed her anything until she did exactly what they said she was supposed to do. She got to the point where toward the end, she was uh, defecating on herself, and they wouldn't change her. They'd leave her all day in her poop until which was sad, because at the time when my mom entered all these separate these rehabs that different hospitals and stuff would send her to get better, she had a bullet hole from a in her backside from her husband, who decided that he just didn't want to be married one day, and she was coming down the stairs and he used a pew pew on her in her back. So the wound from that ended up getting severely infected, and all these places would do was they'd say, "Oh, we're going to send in somebody once." What they were supposed to once a day to change a bandage, and when I would visit my mom, no, it wasn't changed. It wasn't changed. So she got a severe infection on the spot where the hole was, and it never healed, and untimely infections and being starved to death from a home, and basically given the wrong medication, because they kept on giving her medication for diabetes when she wasn't diabetic, led to my mom's. But the majority was because she was shot. But anyway, when you have a loved one, just be aware that chances are those nice, wonderful cards you're sending flowers, little trinkets. They'll end up with the next person's stuff. Case in point, these little cards. This is lovely. Whoever this person is, I'm sure I can tell that they cared for their cousin very much. And just so you know, I am sending these back to the person that sent them, because I think it's only right. I know that I don't have the dentures, but that was kind of gross. I opened them up, and yeah, they were molded. That's how long they've been there. I don't know. I don't know when this person was moved or if they were deceased when I got their belongings, but I think it's only the right thing that I do, that I send, and to prove it, yeah, like I said, I'm sending, I'm sending it back today to them, so they know that at least someone cared for the loved one, even though I personally don't know any of them. So just word of warning: when you send your parents or loved ones to these places, just be aware that chances are someone else is going to get their belongings, because it sure the heck aren't them. Anyway, I know this is a little bit depressing video and long, so hope you all have a good day, are in good spirits, and as always, I love you.